What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny 2 news. And of course this Tuesday we've had the second reveal for Into the Light, where Bungie have been more focused on rewards this time. So today they've revealed a bunch of returning weapons for the update, and there's definitely a focus on some pretty cherished older Destiny 2 weapons. But they also speak a little bit about a new social space, and the key vendor for Into the Light, as well as some of the track rewards, and a little bit of the progression for the update. So we're going to jump in with a roundup of everything they've spoken about today, and as always I hope you enjoy this one. But before we get going guys, who do you think today's video is sponsored by? Well, it isn't a new VPN or some new PC hardware, but instead it's the biggest game that you can fit in your pocket or play on PC, packed with content, loads of campaign missions, dungeons, bosses, and PvP arenas with hundreds of awesome champions, as well as customization options to adapt how you play. It's the game with more than 700 champions, each with their own unique skills and abilities. And yes, we're talking about Raid Shadow Legends, which right now is celebrating its 5th anniversary, where players can unlock 2 epic heroes for free by using my link and the promo code Festival5. Plus that bundle will come with free energy, XP boosters, and much more, making it a great time to start playing Raid Shadow Legends. In recent times, Raid have added the live arena, where players can show off by fighting other players in real time while picking champions before diving into a 4v4 fight to the death. But also Raid have introduced mythical champions, a powerful new rarity featuring metamorph skills, which allow players to transform between 2 forms. And of course we can take that power into the recently added Cursed City, where stages can be cleared each month for high value rewards, including a free mythical champion. And so it's a great time to start playing Raid, plus new players can use my link or scan the QR code on screen to get a free starter pack with more than $100 worth of prizes. And that includes the epic boss killer Lady Atessa, and for level 25 players there'll be exclusive 5th anniversary items unlocked as well. So to get the download, follow the link below, and you can even join my clan House of Hounds if you like. So look that up in game once you get the download, but as always, cheers to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring the video today, and the details are in the description box. Now though, getting into the Destiny content for today, and of course, Bungie did their second reveal stream, we did get a lot more detail about this sort of reward structure for Into the Light, how that connects to the Onslaught game mode, and some of the sort of progression and quest elements for the update as well. So the first thing they show off inside of the reveal today is the Hall of Champions. This is the new social space for Into the Light, and they've very much described it as the home base for the content update. Interestingly, off on one of the side wings, there is a sort of storeroom, which is filled with out-of-season vendors. We can see Eva Levante in there, as well as weaponry and a bunch of other interesting artifacts. So kind of looks like there'll be a couple of hidden areas to explore here, but as we head into the space we can see that it's absolutely full of chests. The devs didn't go into too much detail about precisely how all of these will work, but they said broadly we'll come here to redeem trophies of bravery, which are earned by playing Onslaught, so obviously there'll be specific triumphs associated with that, but also there'll be other highlighted triumphs which sort of revolve around broader Destiny content, in a way not dissimilar to something like Moments of Triumph. And that's going to be one of the ways that we earn a bunch of the items. But here they show off the D2 Year 1 Parade armor set updates that they've got for Into the Light. So this is just the Hunter set obviously, but they've said that this is earnable for all players during the update. I'm guessing it will drop from Onslaught, and perhaps there'll be other pursuits where we can get it, but it isn't a paid thing. You'll also spot a bunch of weapons on the character right there, which are returning. We'll go into those in a little bit more detail, but something else they highlighted that we'll see in the social space is that they're bringing back the Gift of the Thunder Gods. And this is a chest of goodies that we got, I believe, back before Lightfall, which is essentially a catch-up for players to get ready for the final shape. So it brings players up to the powerful cap. That is separate to the pinnacle cap, keep in mind, but I think there are some other materials and upgrades and things in there typically as well. So there'll be a little boost for newer players, which is cool. But then they talk about Shaxx, and they say he's opened up his Brave Arsenal for all players. And inside of Shaxx's menu, he has various different rank rewards. And as players earn rep, of course, we'll get the opportunity to unlock his items. Something interesting they did highlight in his inventory, but one of the final rank rewards is a Superblack key, and it reads that it's one of 2 keys needed to open the hidden room in the back of the armory that ultimately allows us to earn the Superblack shader from Destiny 1. So they've brought that back to D2. It obviously is a sort of pinnacle component, I guess, of the update that we're seeing. And there may even be a secret component related to the keys, so that's interesting. And also in Shaxx's inventory, there are various other items. We've got some of the currency associated with this update, but also a handful of different keys, perhaps they will drop weapons and things like that, and some upgrade materials and exotic upgrades. So a few interesting bits there, but also our site 9940, Shax's robot friend, will have a bunch of weapon quests inside of this social space as well. So we spot ones for Hung Jury, Succession, Edge Transit, and Falling Guillotine. And completing these quests will actually unlock access to the weapons. So we can get a guaranteed drop of the weapon, and they do say once we've unlocked them via the quest, they'll drop randomly in the content for the update. But also, these weapons will see limited edition variants. A bunch have said these will have a low chance to drop, and they come with a special ornament for the weapon, which we can see looks different to the standard version, and we get this sort of gold glow. So that's pretty cool, and they've said limited edition versions will be available until the final shape, but after that, only the normal versions will drop. Additionally though, limited edition versions will have double perks, so more opportunities to get the perk rolls we want, and we'll get one guaranteed limited edition drop when we complete the quests that our site has. So that's pretty cool, and they also added there's a new weapon attunement sort of mechanic in the game, and after completing the unlock quest for a weapon, we can attune to it, and we actually have to visit the Shax holograms in order to do this, so each of the Shax holograms will have him holding a different weapon, and we can attune to that, which makes that weapon more likely to drop in the content for Into the Light. So that's pretty cool, and as we unlock the weapons, the attunement can be switched at any time, so you can basically go farming for Recluse for a bit, then switch it up and target the Blast Furnace instead, for example. And they've said we shouldn't be afraid of farming because in the final shape, we'll get 100 more vault slots than we have right now, so finally a small vault update at the very least, better than nothing, and that's something we'll get in final shape specifically. In terms of the Brave Arsenal though, they've said they wanted to deliver nostalgia, and they chose 12 weapons that players have asked to bring back, so that does include the Blast Furnace, and we can see that right here. It also comes with a new perk called Last Stand, and they show off Hung Jury, but also the Succession sniper rifle from Deepstone Crypt, and then some of the older PvP weapons like Mountaintop. Some of these PvP weapons actually retain their original sort of intrinsic traits as well, but they've been updated. And it points out we will be able to rocket jump with Mountaintop now, as it gets the Danger Zone perk. And all of these weapons additionally will have the Indomitability origin trait, I'm probably saying that wrong, but Final Blows will grant grenade energy with light subclasses equipped, or melee energy when darkness subclasses are equipped. So that's pretty cool. We spot the Midnight Coup in there as well, which can get kinetic tremors. And Recluse, which also has Master of Arms, and this is where they're reworking some of those perks. Luna's Howl's in the mix too, and they say it's been reworked and is now a 140 RPM hand cannon, but Magnificent Howl specifically has been reworked, and the number of precision final blows before reloading affects the total rounds granted with increased damage and range, and final blows in this state will extend the duration, so it kind of gets to have a bit of the strength that it originally had, but certainly not as easy to set up, and probably not as strong overall. They interestingly also show off Elsie's rifle, so the Stranger's rifle is returning as a legendary once again, and this one's got Zen Moment and Desperado in the traits. So that's really cool, but they also show off the Forbearance, and they've said they've added a couple of new perks to the pool, with the weapon overall being very similar, but with spicy additions. And of course the Edge Transit, returning from back in the Forsaken era. They've said this is one of the strongest GLs in the game as well, so it's going to have a whole bunch of funky perk rolls. But additionally, they show off a Falling Guillotine with Chain Reaction and Eager Edge, but they've also teased that Sword Logic can roll on that as well, so it's actually getting one of the Crowder's End perks, which is cool. And then they show off a Hammerhead with both Rampage and Killing Tally. And overall, they say these weapons aren't craftable, but they are enhanceable in the final shape. And also, they've said attunement is set to be a sort of alternative to crafting because it keeps the excitement of the drops while improving RNG. So they obviously want players to chase these weapons down still. So pretty cool overall, really. Those are the highlights from the stream. They did show off a bunch of gameplay playing Lost Sectors, checking out some of the weapons. So we'll run a little section of that at the end of the video, guys. But for today, give us your thoughts down below. I'm definitely excited to see some of these weapons return. Seems like an interesting sort of loot setup for Into the Light as well. There'll certainly be some juicy things to go after, so that's cool. As well as a few objectives in the new social space too. So I think overall, a bunch of players will jump back in to try and pick some of these rewards up. But give us your thoughts in the comment section. If you've enjoyed the video today, a rating below really does help us out on the channel, and be sure to get subscribed if you want to be kept up to date with everything related to the game. But otherwise, cheers for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys very soon.
Actually, also too, to channel chat one more time, as a quick heads up as well, these weapons, while they won't be craftable, they are going to be enhanceable, is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So these weapons will retroactively be enhanceable when the final shape comes out. So any drops that you get during this initial period, you'll be able to enhance them.
Excellent, okay. So you want to make sure to really hold on to those god rolls that Light.gg went ahead and told you about. Yeah. All right, so Tom, you've swapped your loadout now. Is this Blast Furnace we see you were?
Yeah, you were just talking about Blast Furnace, so I thought I'd hop over to it.
It's thematic, yeah.
Nice and smooth, like it always was.
Kelsey, actually too, on your side, obviously having this new tapestry of rewards to work with has been pretty exciting. As you kind of went ahead and sort of hatched your plans of how players would go about getting these, kind of what role did these weapons play, I guess, in the overall reward structure?
Yeah, of course. So we wanted the rewards of this release to be all about the weapons.
Yeah.
The shining stars, they're awesome. I saw people were asking a little bit about what we're going to be getting from Onslaught.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chests in there, and every single chest has a weapon in it, and all of those chests can react to attunement. So if you attune to a weapon, anytime you see a chest, it's going to happen. So
excellent.
Every set, not every wave, that'd be crazy. Every set, there's a chest with a weapon in it. If you do it at higher difficulty, there are 2 chests. They both have weapons in them, and if you keep the ADU alive throughout the entirety of Onslaught, there's another bonus chest available. So you can get a lot if you just keep yourself kicking and get all the way through there, keep the ADU up. There's a lot of guns to be had.
So those folks who are going to dive into the Legend 50-wave version of Onslaught are going to be well rewarded for those efforts. I'm asking partially for myself, obviously, as well, and my fire team at home who might be listening.
Weapons team is really excited about attunement because it gives players some control over the drops that they get, but it retains the excitement of those drops. Like you will get your Blast Furnace dropping from the chest. You don't have to go and focus it or anything like that.
Yeah.